Thank you. What about the case of Hong Kong? Because I'm given to understand that Hong Kong in its early days didn't have tariffs. And it's actually true to say that it was an early adopter of manufacturing in the 1960s. And the second point I want to make is that over the weekend on the GB News, Camilla Tominey show, a Tory MP who won the award for Conservative MP of the Year has suggested, or he's got put forward, the idea of labelling products in view of the agricultural industry, like beef, lamb. Is that protectionist?
Who wants to start? Okay.
I'd be happy to answer that.
Okay.
If you look at my graph that everyone's got, you see Hong Kong's a huge outlier. It doesn't do research and development. So it is not an industrial nation, it's an entrepot. It does it by trade. It imports and exports. That's how it does things. Yes, of course, in the early ages, Hong Kong, Hong Kong goods became famous. When I was young, Hong Kong goods were famous for being trashy. They were made by cheap labor and they were trashy. That's how Hong Kong grew. And now does it as an entrepot. So the example of Hong Kong would confirm the world as I see it.
Let's pause and honour the sainted memory of Sir John Cowperthwaite, who made Hong Kong the miracle it is by unilaterally adopting not just free trade, but low taxes and light regulation. And I met him once late in life, and he said the great lesson about deregulation is that doing nothing is a full-time occupation. You have to be there before the first of your officials arrives. You have to be there after the last of them has left. Otherwise, they will start doing stuff. And so to stop stuff happening, you have to be constantly on your guard. Well, if you want a memorial, look around you. What an extraordinary thing he achieved until the Chinese got their hands on it. Labeling, look, I'm perfectly okay with labeling. And great, whatever the rules you have, fine. More information. But can we please stop pretending that this country depends on farming, particularly on lamb and beef, which are the bits of farming we do least well, right? To listen to Minette Batters and the National Farmers Union. First of all, you'd think that we are a massive agrarian economy. We're not. We are a big food importing country. And do you know what? We've been a net food importer since the 1720s. I can't help noticing we've done all right since the 1720s because we've moved up the production chain. But, with the bits of agriculture we still do, most of it we're pretty good at, right? Our pigs, our poultry, our arable farming, that is pretty competitive by any standard worldwide. The bits that we're really bad at worldwide, guess what, are the bits that we've tried to protect, i.e. particularly lamb and beef, which we didn't really do, particularly beef, we didn't really do until we joined the EU, and then we stopped being allowed to import it from Argentina and Canada and the US and Australia, so we created our own industry, which people now dig in and defend as though it's some immemorial part of the landscape. Most of it's from the 1970s.
But we don't have to refight corn laws, Stan.
Sadly, we are in the middle of refighting the corn laws. All of these people now, and I have to say it's partly because some of them are so upset about Brexit. This is the weirdest psychological phenomenon, that people who would normally be cosmopolitan, internationalist, and well aware of the arguments for unrestricted commerce now can't bring themselves to admit that any good has come out of leaving the European Union. And so when they talk about the trade deals with Australia, they start saying, we're flooding our market with cheap food. When did cheap become an insult, by the way? I say it's a great rich man's argument that, we don't want this cheap stuff. Really?
Let me just explain that. 1 minute, please. No, go ahead.